Hello. Hi, Antonio. Hello. We are really glad to have you here today with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. 1 second, Vinek. I'm
Hi,
Here
hi.
we go.
Yeah, great, great. I believe there are people that are still joining us at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Let's wait.
maybe. Yeah. So we'll get started in a couple of minutes only. I think in the meanwhile, maybe we could have a good explaining about some of the things that about VeChain, right? Maybe we could get started on some of our conversations. In the meanwhile, people are still joining us. They'll take a couple of more minutes. I request all the participants to please share the meeting link with your friends. Make sure everybody's here in a couple of minutes. So we'll get started.
Yeah,
Great. In the meanwhile, Antonio, a
yeah.
brief
I'm,
about the audience that we're gonna have today. Uh, they're all developers, right? Most of them are developers, and they're very eager to learn about blockchain. They have a very limited exposure to blockchain, right? And but at the same time, all of them are really eager to step on the pedal and make sure that they build something on blockchain. Right?
okay.
So, yeah.
I think my talk here is about the VeChain roadmap and what we are trying to achieve and who we are, and some of the development things that I hope they will happen in the future, both guided by me or by the community, or
Right.
both together.
Right.
So I think it's relevant. Let's see how that goes.
Great.
It is a step towards the right direction. I'm going to explain a little bit what we do, because then each blockchain tries to do a different thing. Each network, each protocol tries to do a different thing.
Absolutely, yes. I've heard a lot of good things about VeChain. Even I'm looking forward to, hearing some of the things that VeChain is up to. I've already been following VeChain a bit, right? And I know this that VeChain has already made quite a dent in supply chain, and its
Yeah,
association with a lot of companies. Yeah, so it could be great. I think people will keep on joining us. Let me give a brief introduction about our guest here to all the participants. Today we have Antonio Senatore with us. He is the CTO of VeChain. VeChain is basically a blockchain that right now is focusing on supply chain management, and will love to hear a lot about VeChain because Antonio is here tonight with us. So Antonio, uh, over to you. If you could, explain about the VeChain ecosystem and engage our audience here.
absolutely. Give me a second. So first of all, let me introduce myself. uh, Sorry. My name is Antonio Senatore. I'm the CTO of the Vechain Foundation. I joined the Vechain Foundation. It's about 10 months ago at this stage, I think, with the goal of helping growing the foundation in Europe, which is where the foundation is now based. The new headquarter is based in San Marino. So we moved from Singapore to San Marino for several reasons. Some are legal, some are operational. So there's a number of reasons that when things usually happen in this way, that's usually the way business works. Before I was in Deloitte for many years. I've been 11 years as a consultant in Deloitte. I was director. I was the global CTO for blockchain in Deloitte. So I was actually the global head of the technology work that Deloitte was doing. And I was leading the EMEA blockchain lab, which was kind of the center of excellence for Deloitte in crypto. Before, always in Deloitte, I was doing big data, machine learning, analytics. I was leading the big data in EMEA. Before I was in startups for 5 years, was in Accenture, etc. I'm a computer engineer, so I'm a technologist by trade. I'm Italian originally, as you may tell, probably from the name, the accent, but I'm based in Dublin. So I'm an Italian-Irish, basically. I have the double citizenship. Been in Ireland for about 15 years. And the Vechain Foundation is based in San Marino. The technology center is in Dublin, or at least the leadership of the technology center will all be in Dublin. and a few developers also in Italy, and the business team mainly based in Italy. That's the initial thing. In reality, you know, we already have employees from Spain. You know, we are in Web3, the new world. People are working remote, so it kind of, we try to make it work where we find the talent as well as everyone else. So we are pragmatic in that extent. Let me share a little bit the screen.
Yeah.
Let me make it bigger a little bit. So what I wanted to discuss, I didn't know the level. Oh, let's see. I think
Yeah.
there it goes. We can see something there. Let me see if I can. Can you see it well? I'm losing you a little bit.
Hello.
Yes, can you see
Yeah, I
it
lost.
well?
Yeah. Your screen is visible.
It's good?
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. I don't know why I think I should have restarted my router, but anyway, let's continue like that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Vechain Foundation in Europe. What is our goal? What is that we are trying to achieve? Talking about development roadmap. What is that we want to do? What I want the development team under the CTO to be developing for the next, a few years. Probably it's a roadmap for 2 to 5 years, in my opinion. And then we talk a bit about Vechain Stats, which is a product that has recently been developed by the community members, and it's a company basically, which is our blockchain explorer. It has become our blockchain explorer, one of the best out there, that shows how community can do different things and can do well. Talk a little bit about NFT marketplaces that we have, and what is the NFT ecosystem for Vechain, and a little bit some of the development frameworks that can be used to develop in Vechain. And then we get some question and answer there. I will leave about 20 minutes, okay? So go through a little bit of Vechain introduction. The Vechain blockchain is a layer 1 public blockchain. It was launched in 2015 as a company, but I think it went effectively live a few years later as a protocol. As a protocol, 2018. So we did the launch. We started with an ICO like many others, and funding, and then we became a layer 1 protocol, as many others know. The goal of Vechain at the beginning was mainly 2 things: to connect the enterprise space and the crypto space, to really bring real businesses, real use cases into a blockchain protocol. Yeah. At the time, we found that most of the open source protocol out there weren't really fit for purpose. Was really difficult to develop anything. There were transaction fees were too high, etc. So we decided that we needed to kind of fork one of the core protocols, and we decided to fork Ethereum, and we are fully Ethereum compatible, and we decided to run with a completely new protocol. We have a network of over 300 enterprises working with us globally. You can see some of the name here. DMVGL and PwC are probably the biggest names because they're also authorities. There's Deloitte. That was me when I met Sun in 2018 in New York, and we started working together on what we wanted to, the way we wanted Deloitte and the Vechain to work together. We cover 20 industry categories, mainly in the in different areas, from pharma, food industry, agriculture, farming, cars manufacturing, computer manufacturing, logistics, you name it. We have what I call an enterprise solution running on top of the core protocol, which is called toolchain, where we have built around 70 use cases around food safety, track and trace, sustainability, digital assurance, international trade, and anti-counterfeit. And in general, we have also large partnerships with academics and etc. and in general universities, colleges. One thing I wanted to say, there's a few things here on top. You can see that strategic blockchain technology partner of DMV, Global Digital Transformation, and PwC. So these are the two main strategic partners we worked with by using blockchain for supply chain and digital business assurance. We were the first 5-star rated blockchain service provider in the world by TU Sutherland. We were recognized by Early Metrics as being one of the most valuable startups worldwide. We were the first batch of blockchain solution providers accepted by Cyberspace Administration of China. And we are board member of the Trusted Blockchain Initiative by the CAICT, and winner in 2019 of the most valuable blockchain solution. Now, I said a few things here, but what is our focus now? We've been in business for a while. Supply chain was one of our use cases, but our focus in general is sustainability. So as Sunny says, we want to bring blockchain to the real businesses. We want to bring also blockchain, and mainly blockchain, to sustainability. We want to build the new sustainability and circular economy ecosystem based on our protocol, which means bringing together business and crypto. So the ability of building reward system for sustainability, the ability to build, how do we say, liquidity pools for sustainability to finance sustainability projects, etc. So anything you see in the crypto space nowadays, we wanna bring to sustainability. So the crypto metrics, the crypto liquidity, the crypto behavior into the sustainability world, and that's what we are focusing on. To do that, one of the first thing we had to do is that we needed to be very green. If you want to be sustainable, you gotta be green. You gotta be consuming less CO2 than the others, and we have achieved that. We have been certified about that. Our total carbon emission per year is 4.58 metric tons, which is 2.4% of mining one single Bitcoin. So you can tell yourself that is really, really, really low compared to others. You got the 7,581 kilowatt-hour per year, and one transaction of Vechain Tor is about 0.04% of Cardano, but in general, you can see how low that is there. And we are aligned with many enterprises' net zero carbon strategy. And because of that, we are the protocol of choice for many of the greenest projects out there. One thing that you can see that we have put there are the SDGs, which now people are talking about ESG. You can see these blocks: no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitization, affordable and clean energy, work and growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, life below water, etc. These are the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. They are the pillars of what we want to build. So we want to become the infrastructure to deliver around those goals. There are a few goals that we're going to focus on in the short term, which are more around carbon footprint calculation for any sort of behavior. for any sort of industries, for any sort of product, etc. Supply chain, of course, to certify where things are coming from, the whole supply chain of things. But we're going to do a lot more in the future. So to do that, the foundation requires a number of tools and things to be developed. Vechain has got, like many other blockchain, already a protocol running. And we have a, our system works. Mostly it's fully compatible with Ethereum. We run Ethereum virtual machine, the latest. We have a different consensus mechanism. We have a group of authorities that validate the transaction, and to become an authority, you need to be KYC and onboarded, and you need to invest, and that's kind of a staking mechanism. And we have a double token mechanism that enable the protocol to run transaction at what they call a fixed price, give or take, pretty much. It always oscillates, but transaction fees are very low, and I'm going to show to you in a minute. So the future of the foundation is to build a series of tools and development frameworks to enable others to actually develop on the platform. Okay. There are a number of things, and I'm going to switch with the browser, okay, here and there to show you a few things. One thing that we're looking at, it's a wallet, a new wallet, which is here, which we just started, a browser plugin similar to MetaMask. We already have two wallets in Vechain. They're called Sync and Sync2. We also have a mobile wallet called Vechain Tor. But we are lacking a browser plugin, which is very important for Web3 type of applications, like MetaMask. And we are at the moment building it. We have recently built a fiat-backed stablecoin. You probably all heard about stablecoins. I can show to you something about that. Oh, I thought I had it here, but it's clearly not here. Give me a minute. I wanted to show the way a stablecoin works in a blockchain environment. Here you do. This is our stablecoin. At the moment, it's called VUSD. And as a stablecoin, it's a stable version. It's a digital dollar. It's a stable version of the US dollar. It's a token that runs on our blockchain. It's called ERC20 or VIP180, we call it. It's worth $1, of course. And there is an organization behind that every time, which is called Stably, every time you give them $1 and you receive back a VUSD, and you can use it to run into the platform. So that's one thing, and this can be used to do payments, can be used to do rewards, to do incentivization. It's something very important for us. The other thing I wanted to show to you is the blockchain data explorer. I'm just going to show to you a few things that we have in mind to do, because to go through the whole roadmap may take 4 hours. This one, blockchain data explorer, we already done that. VStats has been improved and will be more improved in the future. It's been done by the community. And here you go, it's Vechain Stats Gold. It's probably the best blockchain explorer that you can see out there. It's the only one that shows you the blockchain. You see block and chain. Very simple. On each block shows to you, all the transactions that are happening. You can click on a transaction and you can see what are the features of this transaction. What did this transaction do? Where it comes from? Why? Etc. And you actually see the cost. I see the cost of this transaction is $4 million. So that tells you how cheap we are. This is probably a trading type transaction, as you can see. It's probably a token switch of something that is happening on one of our DeFi protocols. We have 2 DeFi protocols. So this is Vechain Stats. Vechain Stats also explores NFTs, which I'm sure you all heard about those. We'll go into details in a few minutes, and I'll talk more about NFTs. One thing, few further things we want to do is an open marketplace for the community in NFT. We also want to do a token bridge with Ethereum, which is already in progress, and it's almost there, to be honest. The ability to get tokens from Vechain and transfer to Ethereum and vice versa. And also a decentralized exchange, which has already been developed, and we're thinking about that delivery date. Wave 0 is pretty much either done or in progress. Wave 1 is our next how do I call, wave of things. We're looking at creating a Web3 adapter. So as you know, blockchain requires kind of Web3 libraries. We have our own Web3 libraries, and we are adapting those with a wrapper to make them work properly. We are looking at upgrading our middleware. We have RESTful API. We would like to enable to get that to a node level to RPC API. But also we are looking at development frameworks like Truffle, Hardhat. All these development frameworks for blockchain that support Ethereum and others. Some of them are already supporting Vechain. We want to work more to improve the developer experience when they go and develop for Vechain. We need a proper IDE like Remix. At the moment, we're using Visual Studio Code, which is the one I mostly use. Another thing that we are building, it's a Web3 as a service platform, very similar to Infura or others out there. Moralis is another one. It's the ability for people that don't know blockchain, or they don't have the capabilities, or they don't want to build capabilities, to use API where you can actually have blockchain as a service. So just submit transaction, create tokens, and retrieve information. We are looking at some custody solutions. That's another area that we are looking at exploring. And that's pretty much in the short term. Further out, we are looking at decentralized identity on blockchain. So the ability to identify people and its organization into our network. So if we create a use case around sustainability, imagine that you want to recognize whoever is the organization that is providing, I don't know, the plastic recycling or the bikes, etc., and tokenizing that. So we're trying to build that. We're also trying to add a DNS, a Vechain naming system, ability to identify wallets just with a name, say Antonio wallet, and that will be mine. Some asset lending platform like DeFi, and a generic data bridge. Further down the line, very far though, this is looking at decentralized file storage solution based on Vechain. We're looking at a layer 2 scale, like probably Sync, ZK Sync, or others. Rollups. We're gonna look into that. A smart contract security analysis tool. At the moment, we are working with the Vechain team to secure all our smart contracts for security review. And you know, we're looking at also developing, and that's very important to me, framework for DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. So the ability of defining a DAO which is a decentralized autonomous organization. So giving a framework for people to be able to define a DAO, a decentralized organization, quickly, within minutes. So these are the things that we are looking at doing. I won't go through the timelines because it doesn't make sense anymore. In terms of the first one, as I said, was the first Community Explorer. It's already followed by 25,000 people. Vechain stats. You already saw that version 2 was released 4 months ago, and in the past 3 months they're growing 300 times in terms of access. The Vechain stats are also an authority masternode, which means are an authority within Vechain. They have voting power, they approve transactions, etc. I showed you a minute ago what the Vechain stats looks like. That's one of the most important things for us. I want to talk to you about NFT a little bit beyond the hype and things that why they're very important to us. I think we think that NFTs are really going to be the core for to track sustainable behavior, because in the end NFTs are digital ownership, are digital elements, are non-fungible tokens that represent something that can be traded, can be swapped, can be set, not swapped, sorry, can be transferred, but you know they're really unique, and this uniqueness really fits well what we call the sustainability journey that we wanna do. Now, we all know NFTs to be things like this: images where you have a certificate of ownership of this image. The image is stored either on the web or on a decentralized storage, but they can do a lot more. Really, they're much more than this hype. You know, they're first of all a contract, and if you think about the contract, it's about the offer, the acceptance, consideration, and intention. That's basic contract law 101. NFT are basically made by a token ID, which is unique. This is my digital representation of something, and they run on blockchain, of course. The ownership, there's no owner, and metadata that describe what is behind the NFT. Where is the real NFT? Where is the data of the NFT, and the capacity to transfer. You can send this NFT to whoever you want. I'll give you in a minute an example of an NFT, a real one. So as you can see, an NFT's got a token ID, an owner, which is a public blockchain address. So this is usually a person. It could be the same person that has multiple addresses or different person. And so you can see an ID which shows what is the token, and an owner that represents by a blockchain address. And then there is metadata. This is the metadata, and it allows the NFT to give some meanings. Here, for example, we can put that this is a picture of a cat. We can say what is the image on the web, and we can give it a name. Now, the metadata, can be anything. You can say this represents a carbon footprint. This can represent a real picture. This can represent a real paint. And usually the image doesn't have to be stored on the web, can be stored even on a decentralized protocol based on blockchain. So that's pretty much what NFTs are. And of course, they have the capacity to transfer. I can say, I give my NFT to you, or I put my NFT to another organization, like if I want to sell it, if I want to burn it and send it away, because we don't need that anymore. But there are multiple reasons to change the ownership address of the NFT, and we call it a transfer function. And there's a lot of code behind that to show how it can be done, but it's not that difficult. Now, NFT can represent multiple things. One of the most important NFT that we have done was the COVID certificate verification mechanism. It is an NFT based on a QR code, basically on a mobile app. It's on Vechain. It was done for San Marino. That's you all had, I suppose, the certificate for COVID. This one is slightly different because it's got a real digital footprint on a public blockchain. Nothing really more to say here, but you can see that an NFT can be anything. Can be also as kind of an healthcare wallet, where you can receive a digital identity for healthcare and then access your data through this NFT. You say, I'm the owner of this healthcare wallet. Can I get my results, my test results, etc.? So that represent a person in terms of e-health certificate. That's another one. There are more. And then there is what we call the Phygitals. You see here, there is some painters doing things. An NFT can represent also a real digital object. And in Vechain, that's one of the things we do most. Sorry, a real physical object. So I have a piece of art that I've been given, I bought. And I got the physical piece of art at home. There is an NFC tag behind that really connects to the Vechain blockchain and shows the NFT. Let me show to you. There it is. This is Anna, actually one of our artists doing this, and you can see behind she puts the digital NFC. And that's actually the one that was sent to me, that piece of art. There are only 10 of those, and I'll show you in a minute. Now, the piece of art is in my living room, but you can see the way she's able to actually go and check all the characteristics of that piece of art. Now, I'm going to show to you how it is, how does it look on my marketplace. So if I go here and I open a new tab, sorry, here you go, World of V. Just a second, I have it here on this other screen. I'm gonna get the link from here. Okay, 1 second. I thought I had that behind, but here's the link. So this is a marketplace for NFT that we have. This is me. This is the creator of the NFT. This is the owner. It's myself. Now I haven't, you see it's anonymous because I haven't connected my identity to this portal, but that's the piece of art that I have at home. And here with Vechain, you can also check all the provenance of the piece of art. I hope it's gonna work now. I'm having some internet issues, but yes, there you go. This is the landing page that describes the piece of art. The Guardian is the name of the piece of art, the author, the year of completion, and everything. And there are only 10 editions of this. And also the transaction record on Vechain, which is this one. So you can see when this was created. It was created on the 11th of February, 2022 at 9:46 in the morning. And was only costing 0.4 Vitor. Now this Explorer doesn't give me the cost of the transaction, but if I get this transaction here and I copy and I put on this other Explorer, showing to you a little bit of blockchain. There we go. Let's look at the transaction details. Oh, it doesn't give me the cost, but it's about 0.3 Vitor, so it's in the range of about 7 millicents probably of euro. So that's pretty much the cost. It was delegated by this. That delegation is another feature that we have. May take too long to explain now. I move on. So some of the more, we are one of the most sustainable layer one for NFTs, and because of that we have several marketplaces. The two I like the most, one is World of V, which is real Phygitals. It's artists publishing real pieces of art on the blockchain, and also have collectibles, which are NFTs, pieces of images, Vim World it's called. So these are some of the two that we have, and you can explore them yourself and see how they work. The code is also open source. There is a lot more though. There's a lot of NFTs stories on Vechain, and this is some of our community projects, and you can go and check them. I'm sure you'll find them quite interesting. In terms of market comparison, because you know the NFT world now is picking up very really hard. Now I know there's a bit of a hype. I know a lot of projects are gonna get burst. You're probably following the crypto situation. I don't know whether this number makes sense anymore here for minting cost. Probably 0.07 Ether is no longer but I'm gonna make the calculation now. Give me a second. But in general, OpenSea is a very important NFT marketplace, very known. In general, takes a few minutes to mine a transaction, and the mining cost is, give me a second, by 1,200. Well, right now it's a bit less. It's about $100 to mine an NFT on Ethereum. We got Solana as well, which takes almost a couple of minutes. Sorry, Solsea, which runs on Solana. Solsea, which runs on Solana. It's $2 each. We got Hexectnook, mint speed of 34 seconds, and it runs on Tezos, so the cost is about 40 cents. And then we have World of V, which is based on Vechain, means in 7 seconds. It is free in reality. Transaction, it's not millicents or cents, it's free. Currency is Vitor. It's free because we offer what is called in Vechain a fee delegation, and if a lot of use cases may benefit from sponsoring either by the foundation or sponsoring by one of our authorities within the foundation. Transaction fees are low, and these sponsoring authorities may decide to, delegate the gas fee for you, and they say, you know what, I like your project, I want to be part of it, I'm gonna use fee delegation. So what you say when you push a transaction, you say that authority is gonna pay for me because we have a contract, and so you can in this case World of V is free for the artist. So imagine all the artists going on World of V and publishing their pieces of art on Vechain at zero cost. That is really giving us an edge in that space. Last but not least, we are looking at development framework. Hardhat is one that has recently added a Vechain plugin, so you can use Hardhat and try to write Solidity smart contract in Vechain. So you can just deploy and interact with this with Vechain public blockchain. That's the way you do it. And that's it. One thing I wanted to tell: build, implement, and adopt was not a course around Vechain, more than a high-level introduction of what we do. But once you build, one good thing is to use the Vechain testnet, of course, which is our testnet, which is this one here. You can get all the details you need for the testnet to test your transaction. And that's all. I want to do like 40 minutes intro. I'm on time. I'll open to some questions here now. I can close my screen. There we go.
Guys, if you have some questions, please put them in the chat box, or feel free to unmute yourself and ask them directly. Questions are welcome.
Sir, how can we start development using Vechain?
You're on mute, Antonio.
Apologies, I don't know why it got on mute. One thing you can do is to go into, and we are working a little bit better on a what I call the development roadmap, not development walkthrough and libraries. We need to improve that, but I can give it to you right now. If you go into docs Vechain, you get a number of developer resources. I'll send it to you right now. Give me a minute. Here you go. Development resources. Let me share my screen first. It's better so everyone can see. There you go. It's this one. So on Vechain docs, you have all the documentation with tutorials, the wallet, etc. So you can go there. I'm gonna put it here in the chat. This is the development resources, different tutorials, the wallets you need. There are 3 wallets at the moment that we have. The Explorer, 3 Explorers, and some of the tools that you're gonna need. They're not all there. I think now we put also RDAT. I suggest you get to RDAT plugin, and then there's a lot of resources here. So use these. There's guides. God, there is anything you need. It needs to be a little bit better organized, so we're working on that. But it's a good starting point. The main page is this one, but I suggest you go on resources and development resources, which is much richer. Okay. One thing, you need to learn Solidity. That's number one. And Solidity you can learn anywhere. On the Ethereum, you can find online, Udemy, Pluralsight, you can learn anywhere. But to really develop on Vechain, you follow our guide. Anything else?
I think there are some questions in the chat box, Antonio.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. The miners usually, it's not that the cost is free of blockchain, of Vechain. The cost is not free. They 30% of the transaction fees goes to the miner. And also they're also compensated by the fact that we have a double token mechanism, which means the main token of Vechain is VET, called VET. And on VET, you can then generate what we call VTOR, which is our gas. Okay. So what is the generation model? I hope it's here. Let me check if I can get to you here. It's in tools. Yeah, VTOR calculator. Yeah, here you can say, I have 1 million VETs, and I basically generate this amount of TOR every month. And you can use this generation to sell to others that need gas and they don't have VET. So that could be another way to make money. The gas, it is free when there is an authority, one of 101 authorities. If you see here, we have authorities nodes, and these are all the authority nodes that we have. If one of those authorities really like your projects and decides, I'm gonna pay for transaction fees for your projects only, they still make money on other projects. But maybe they like that project, or whatever revenue that project generates is gonna go to them at some point. So authorities always make money. That's my thing. Can we integrate MetaMask with Vechain? Yes. But we are creating our own MetaMask now. So if you give me 3 months, you won't need to do that. But yes, if you open MetaMask here, this is MetaMask. God, why is going to dark mode? I don't want to go to dark mode. So this is, you see, I don't have much here, so not to worry. If you see MetaMask, you can add a new network somewhere here. How do I do that? Yes, here you go. You see, I have a token bridge test where I'm testing. You can add a new network, and you can put the network name. Now, the only problem is MetaMask requires an RPC URL. We don't have an RPC URL. So you need to open your own RPC URL, which is then gonna submit the transaction to Vechain. As you know, opening your own RPC server with the same keys on MetaMask can be dangerous. So it is something that we are allowing people to do if you want to do that, but be very careful. Do that with real crypto. Use that only in text if you want to know my opinion. Peter Zhu, who is our chief scientist, my suggestion is also to go on Peter Zhu Twitter. I'm writing to you for here, and he has done that. I'm gonna give it to you. Give me a second. I'm gonna put in chat. This is Peter. If you go scroll down into his tweet, you will find the way he has done that. And he has put a GitHub code for everyone to use to integrate MetaMask with Vechain, okay? Is Ethereum token bridge complete? Yes, it's in testing mode. So it's not live yet. Peter will let you know. If you use the Twitter, he will tell you. What is an authority that you explained earlier? Yeah, that's a good point. I probably should have been more precise. It's the miner. Let's call it the equivalent of the Bitcoin miner. But there is no mining in Vechain. It's proof of authorities. It's the consensus. You can go and study it. It's a round robin between authorities. It's my turn to approve transactions. I approve transactions. And everyone trusts you. But to become an authority, you need to invest, to put money. I think you need at the moment 26 million bet. I may not be precise in what I just said to you. You can check yourself. But let's say 20 to 25 million bets. And so it's a number of millions that you need in US dollars to become an authority. So you're incentivized by behaving because, you know, if you misbehave, we keep your money and you're out. The other thing is authorities are anyway KYC. Not everyone can be an authority. Is this blockchain the only solution for supply chain management? No, it's going to be one of the solutions. I mean, supply chain management in the end is about products, semi-products, it's about manufacturing, it's about material, it's about anything. And NFT for products is going to play a huge role in the sustainability of the products. And so we need to understand, especially now with supply chain gone totally nuts. So what we really need to find as a way to say this product is built sustainably, which means locally sourced a lot. It doesn't travel a lot. You know, there's things I've seen in supply chain you cannot even imagine. You cannot fathom those. And so we're trying. Blockchain gives you a footprint of all the materials, of the semi-elaborate, the manufacturing, and the final product, and the post-life that nobody else gives to you. You have to trust. You're going to have to trust whatever the companies tell you. I know with blockchain it's the same, but at least with blockchain you have ways that once the data gets seen, it's seen, and then you cannot change it. And also there are ways of verifying using certification authorities or even IoT, etc., that the data is really coming and doing the exact thing it says. So I don't think it's the only solution. Blockchain is part of it. You're going to have AI a lot. You're going to have IoT heavily at a level that we have never seen before. We are facing a transformation now, and we're really happy to be in the middle of that. If you build on Ethereum, are we able to shift it to Vechain? 99% yes. There are things you may need to change, but yes. Current transaction per second, I think we are in the range of 2,000, but if you Google a little bit, you'll find it. We can still improve it, but at some point we're going to have to scale on different layers, and we will see that. Can DAOs authorize some application to have free transactions? Yes, they can do that. What will be the incentivized business model? I don't know. The DAO could make money on the final product rather than on the transaction fees, and you may find a different way. The DAO may finance an inventory management where a real laptop or television or phone or wallet or a real pen is sold, and then that goes back to the DAO through a stable coin. So it's not only transaction fee. Can be that a DAO is really managing real assets. Are bridges safe? $1 million question there. What do you want me to tell to you? Yeah, no, not really. Like we're no. I mean, there's a lot of work there. They will become safer and safer and safer, but not yet. Could we sell Phygital NFT through Walmart and Amazon? I don't know, Sahil. I don't know. You check yourself. Is security an issue with proof of stake? We don't use proof of stake. Is it an issue? You need to ask the Ethereum guys. They're doing a lot of work. Yes, it is an issue. Otherwise, they would have released 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, 6 years ago, when they first announced it in 2016. So yes, it is an issue. That's why it's taking so long. The Bitcoin community really doesn't believe that proof of stake is sustainable. I think it is, but it requires a large network, and Ethereum already has it, so we will see. HR at vechain.org is to apply job at Vechain. Or internship, both. We're looking for both. Yes, I answer to all of them. You can send email there. I will see them directly myself. I want to show you Peter's MetaMask, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, that is all from my side. I wanted to get that MetaMask thing from Peter too, but I don't see it. So you're gonna have to find yourself with a bit of patience. You will find the GitHub he has put for MetaMask here. Okay.
There is, I believe there is one more question. Antonio.
Oh yeah, is there a way to make it in MetaMask without pressing any confirmation? Of course there is. I mean, you can do that. I'm not the MetaMask developer, but any wallet, can be built with no manual interaction if it's within an IoT device. So yes, answer is yes, and it's going to be yes. I don't think MetaMask is yes for now, but it's going to be possible in the future once we get wallets. Oh, here you go. Peter was saying that this is just it's an experiment. Okay, MetaMask will be changed. Just be careful. Okay. Ooh.
Great. I believe with this, I think a lot of questions were there. This was really an interesting lecture, Antonio. Thank you so much. Is there a way for our students to reach you or reach Vechain so that if they have any other questions, they can post it in the group, maybe or Discord channel, or reach you somehow?
So for a job application, I put HR at vechain.org. For my mail, it's antonio.senatore@vechain.org. You
Great.
get me there.
Great.
I answer a bit late, guys. May take a week, so patience. Okay, be patient.
Great. Thank you
but
for.
I always answer.
That is really nice. That is really nice. I hope that a lot of people here, they start building on Vechain and definitely buzz you a lot as well, right?
Yes.
You should take your time, definitely. Right.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor, more than a pleasure.
Thank you for being here, Antonio. It was really.
Thank you very much.
Having you here.
Thank you. Have a nice evening. It's late there.
Yes.
Good night. Good night. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Take care. Okay. Bye bye.